Welcome to the latest installment of Don't Take This as Gospel. I'm Mike Partika, and we are covering Dennis Prager's book, Exodus, God, Slavery, and Freedom. It is the first book in the Rational Bible series. Go ahead and pick up a copy at the affiliate link in the video description. We are covering the commandment, the Ten Commandments, and the commandment to honor your mother and your father, that you may long endure on the land that the Lord your God is assigning to you. Now, this is a commandment with a reward. And I used to look at this and think that it was something that applied individually, or that it was something that really only applied to the Israelites of that time, because when it talks about the land that your God is assigning to you, it's talking about the land of Israel. The land of Israel was the land that God was going to bring the Jews into, and once they had taken it over, how long they stayed in the land was going to depend on how well they obeyed the commandments. If they were to obey the commandments, then God would give them good circumstances and peace and fertility and good crops and basically all of the blessings that were the reward of obedience. But if they were disobedient, then God would, give the reverse of all those things. They would be enmeshed in constant battles. They would face famine and starvation and infertility and basically all of the things, the bad circumstances that would be associated with disobedience, up to and including exile from the land. If things ever got so bad in Israel that God just, got really tired of their crap, then he would be scattering them out among the nations and depriving them of the land until such time as they came to repent. So, I always kind of looked at that as a very specific commandment, and such that it never the promise that was attached to it never really applied to anything that, like you or I, our honoring our parents was going to do today. But Dennis Prager has a very interesting look on that I think is well worth reading. And I don't usually just read straight out of the book. I usually read a couple of lines and just comment on it a little. But this is a couple of paragraphs that are worthy enough that I think they should be read in and of themselves. And so Dennis Prager says, "This reward, that you may long endure on the land that the Lord your God is giving to you, this reward is not to be understood as a promise that the individual who honors his or her parents will live a long life. The commandment promises the nation collectively that if its members honor their parents, the family will be preserved, its religious traditions and beliefs will be preserved, and the civilization will therefore long endure. The breakdown of the family is a guarantor of the breakdown of a civilization. One reason is, and this is quoting Joseph Telushkin, a society in which children do not honor parents will lose the means through which the society's culture, religion, and ethics are transmitted. Yet another reason why honoring parents and a long enduring civilization are connected is strong families form a major bulwark against totalitarian regimes. A standard feature of totalitarian regimes is the shifting of children's loyalty and obedience from their parents to the state. One of the first things totalitarian regimes seek to do is weaken parental authority and replace it with the party or state. In such countries, children are encouraged to inform on their parents if they make critical comments, or even tell jokes about government leaders or about the dominant ideology. In the modern period, that would almost always refer to communism, Nazism, or radical Islamism. Consequently, parents would often fear to speak openly in front of their children. I'm kind of surprised that Dennis Prager didn't add this himself, because he's written a book on the subject. But I would almost add leftism to that. If you look at the modern age, especially this upcoming election, and by the time you see this video, by the way, it's not going to be upcoming, it's going to be a decided thing. But how many times have you seen people on the left basically saying, I had to disown my parents because they supported Donald Trump? I had to, get rid of this or that family member because they supported the Republican Party. How many times have you seen that coming from the left? Quite a bit. Don Lemon, as of this viewing, Don Lemon was just on CNN saying, I had to get rid of friends because they were Trump supporters. Like, yeah, and people have been doing that to their parents, too, for quite some time now. It's almost as though their allegiance to their ideology has overcome their honoring of their parents. That's a sad, sad thing. So I would add leftism to that list of things: Nazism, communism, and radical Islamism. Leftism too is coming between people and their parents, children and their parents. It's a sad thing. The other thing that I wanted to note was that we are increasingly becoming a civilization, partly through individual choice, well, mostly through individual choice, but also through societal acceptance of family structures in which it's becoming increasingly impossible to honor one's parents. Because every child has a mother and a father. Every child, bar none, has a mother and a father. But because of the advent of large amounts of single motherhood, for one thing, and also the advent of gay couples, we're allowing these family structures and becoming more and more permissive toward family structures in which a child doesn't have a mother or a father to honor. Moreover, we're turning the individual roles of father and mother into this just bland role of parent in which gender really makes no difference. When, even certain gay couples that I've been in contact with know that's not the case. In fact, if you go back to one of my earlier videos about the 3 favorite times that I got blocked, I talk about a gay couple that I got into a conversation about the lack of father, a male role model in the lesbian household. And they're concluding that yes, that was absolutely true. So when we are creating this society in which single parenthood is rampant, gay parenthood is on the rise, you've got divorces and families split apart and then recombined into various configurations, we're making it harder and harder for children who want to honor their mother and father to be able to do so. And are we doing that at the peril of our own civilization? It's something to think about. I'm Mike Partika. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Don't Take This as Gospel. I hope you join me for the next one. To be notified of the next one, please hit subscribe, and I will talk to you later. We're going to be discussing a little thing called murder next time.